After 15 years, the Deus Ex series is still going strong, and now they're back with a sequel to a prequel that takes place in the future. Either way, is Deus Ex Mankind Divided worth it? Let's find out. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is a game that proudly revels in obscurity. Much like today's political landscape, there are no easy answers, only complex issues. Gigantic industries and diverse social classes are developed on a brittle and often overlapping foundation, where a single event could rapidly alter all of civilization. Unfortunately for the world of 2029, that tragedy has already occurred. 2 years ago, a widespread hack forced humans with cybernetic implants to involuntarily attack organic civilians. With both sides still recovering, world governments have stepped up regulations on augmented civilians, including a UN proposal to remove potentially dangerous artificial enhancements. Enter Adam Jensen, an augmented Interpol agent recently transferred to the Czech Republic. But upon his arrival, his investigation is immediately interrupted by the terrorist bombing of a train station. Now long-held tensions are quickly escalating, and it's up to Adam to apprehend those responsible before civil unrest turns into an all-out war. Much of Mankind Divided's story takes place in and is told through the capital city of Prague, where neighborhood segregation has led to an intense distrust between augmented and natural humans. Through his research, Adam will encounter activists, religious leaders, soldiers, drug dealers, and the regular people trapped in between. Newspapers, televisions, and radio programs equally report conflicting stories, leaving players to decide the truth for themselves. While the sociological struggle for facts successfully ties the world together, the main narrative itself can be downright baffling. The audience is bombarded with a series of proper nouns and pre-established plot points, making the moment-to-moment story difficult to follow. Within the first half hour alone, 2 terrorist attacks occur, Adam meets up with a fellow double agent, yes, he's undercover, and the Illuminati are revealed to be real. Though the murky dealings of shadowy figures fits well within the story, its convoluted execution is significantly disengaging. Even those familiar with the Deus Ex expanded universe will be left scratching their heads as to how their latest mission relates to their previous task. Thankfully, the talented voice cast provide just enough conviction to make up for Mankind Divided's narrative shortcomings. Deus Ex objectives largely revolve around Adam invading a dangerous environment, hacking numerous computer systems, and collecting information and evidence. But the method of engagement is entirely left up to the player. Direct confrontation or navigating unnoticed are both equally viable options, where the only tactical motivation is player preference. Even then, there are a number of alternative pathways, including air ducts and rooftops to explore. Unsure how to get past an electrified floor? With enough health packs, you can simply brute force your way through. Best of all, there's no ramifications for cheating the system. But most of your experiences will be largely dictated by your selection of augmented abilities. Once a praxis point is gained, Adam can unlock a diverse selection of talents, including lifting and throwing heavy objects, temporarily turning invisible, and hacking drones, turrets, and robots to fight against enemies. Special experimental augs such as remote hacking require unused abilities to be permanently shut off. Unfortunately, most of these don't have much use outside of fighting. What makes Mankind Divided's level design so engrossing is how it accounts for a multitude of playstyles without compromising on its fair difficulty, making every successful objective satisfying throughout the 16-hour campaign. As a law enforcement veteran, Adam Jensen is a bit stuck in his ways. However, periodically, players are able to guide his conversations with suspects and allies. This keeps the core of the character intact while encouraging replays to experience the different outcomes. With so many fully realized side missions, a surprisingly enjoyable hacking minigame, and a bonus time attack mode called Breach, Deus Ex additional content feels every bit as well thought out as the main missions. Discovering these extras requires exploring the modestly sized city of Prague, and this is where the problems begin to creep in. As a deeply segregated city, Adam will often need to travel by train, which results in a 40-second load time, an issue that carries over to all reloads. Once there, the discriminatory police will request to see his papers. While these scenes do add an element of authenticity, they are unskippable and quickly repeat themselves. Even walking the large open streets features some noticeable frame rate drops. But the most distracting visual issues come from the supporting cast. The dead-eyed facial models and strange limb movement during conversations paired with a poor lip sync are almost laughable at times. These graphical and performance problems are only minor issues in an otherwise fully realized futuristic world, but they can become grating early on. So, is it worth it? Yes. Mankind Divided's vision of the future is as dense as it is alluring. Sadly, many of the initial story beats and discouragingly long load times may turn off some. But Deus Ex is at its best when it allows players to create their own solutions, and fortunately the campaign is packed with opportunities to experiment. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is currently available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. If you've had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought, and if you haven't, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin Tanner, and I'll see you in the next video.